It's another week. The tower rolls have reset, and I'm able to kind of do these, even though I have to stay up till like 2 a.m. Hey, Pacific Coast. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Assembly 2, auto rifle, hidden hand, perfect balance, high caliber rounds. That is very close to a usable roll this week. Specifically, high caliber rounds will cause your targets to stagger in PvE, does help out a lot in PvP as well. Perfect balance is really good for a stability boost. I still would prefer having counterbalance in this last slot right here, as it would make it way more stable. But this is, if you're okay with the recoil being a little bit jumpy, well, actually a lot bit jumpy, it's gonna work. Quick draw is probably what I'd use over the reflex sight, but hey, it's this one is worth trying out. It's worth trying out. However, the free will 2, hidden hand, perfect balance, triple tap, explosive round, snapshot. There's a lot of good perks on here. However, none of them are range, so no, you don't go for that one. The Impeacher 5 with rangefinder, hand loaded, relentless tracker, high caliber round, snapshot. The whole high caliber rounds and these two perks don't do anything on a sidearm. Basically, you get one of them, and you've maxed out the range for the most part in both PvP and PvE. So I don't really like this one, since the other one here is Relentless Tracker. Sidearms are a dime a dozen. You can find a good one very easily, and that's just a subpar one. Bad Counsel for full auto, extended mag, small bore. I'd probably go for close and or personal here, since you don't want to reduce the magazine size from small bore, but you get extended mag, close and or personal, full auto, and has a nice PvE shotgun to it. Ooh, and aggressive ballistics if you want to up the damage. However, that damage bump, I just use field choke so you don't hurt the range or stability too terribly much. We have the Deposition 7, hidden hand, triple tap, explosive rounds. No. This particular archetype, it's okay, like hidden hand, triple tap are going to be good for PvE, but we got ambush, taxes. If you like the ambush scope, then going like ambush, snapshot, triple tap, hidden hand might be okay, but I feel like if you're wanting to use this archetype, try to get the Defiance of Yasmin from the Kingsfall raid. I feel like that one's just going to be so much better for you. And we're moving over here to the first Citizen 9 with hidden hand, hammer forged, feeding frenzy, high caliber rounds, quick draw, linear compensator, field choke. I've been reading up on machine guns, and apparently like linear compensator and field choke are a little bit better, as they do increase the range and impact, and it's basically the same damage without the stat losses from aggressive ballistics. So hey, more you know. High caliber rounds also very good on machine guns, hidden hand, hammer forged. This is okay. This is a passable machine gun for PvE. I definitely like high caliber rounds on it, as it'll help stagger your targets. Feeding frenzy will help with the reloads. Hidden hand will just help with shot registration. However, I feel like hammer forged is just range on machine guns is so good, because their aim assist is kind of crazy. If you can up that a bunch, then you're gonna be in a good state. So hammer forged, no, play around with it. This is definitely another role that you should consider picking up if you like machine guns. So from this guy, Assembly 2, First Citizen. All right, over at the Crucible vendor, we have, for those that care, we do have a hand cannon bounty, scout rifle bounty, fusion rifle, sniper rifle, and heavy weapons, for those that like these bounties in PvP. 0-day dilemma, glass half full, perfect balance, armor piercing round, spray and play, close and personal. This is spray and play, perfect balance, glass half full. Glass half full is one of those overrated perks in the game. The damage increase from it is just, it's laughably bad. It's okay in PvE because you can actually see the damage numbers go up, but in PvP, you're down to like the bottom portion of the mag before you're going to see any difference in time to kill. So spray and play, it's okay, but it's not that. I wouldn't recommend that you buy it. B29 party favor, Eye of the Storm, feeding frenzy, perfect balance, appended magazine, third eye. You can do much better on this particular archetype here. I'd pass. The hero formula, Firefly, braced frame, Zen Moment, mulligan, explosive rounds. Oh, Zen Moment and brace frame together. That's going to be a very, very stable weapon. Firefly is just, it's good. It's good in everything. Exploding targets in PvP does help sometimes, but in PvE, it's what makes a lot of weapons just very, very good for clearing out crowds of enemies. This will be a very good shooting experience. However, this archetype in PvE, I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't do enough damage, in my opinion. You want to go for The ones in like Vision of Confluence archetype, those are fine. The Wounded, like that's a great archetype for PvE. And then even slower rates of fire, higher impact, good. But once you start getting to the faster rate of fire ones for PvE, I feel like you're having to put forth too much effort to kill simple targets. The Palindrome. We have Triple Tap, Spray and Play, Reinforced Barrel, Lightweight, and Hidden Hand. This is one of those weeks where we don't have a good Palindrome. Reinforced Barrel is not the range increase you are looking for, as it does hurt the stability. You can still get by using it, but you're going to have such a better time with a Reinforced Barrel compared to Reinforced Barrel. Rifled barrel compared to reinforced barrel. It is 2 a.m. Excuse me for getting those confused. Pass on the palindrome this week. Each new day, Eye of the Storm, hand-laid stock, rifled barrel, spray and play. Ooh, it does have rifled barrel on it. That's going to be a very consistent fusion rifle for the most part, just from rifled barrel. Unfortunately, none of the other perks on it really help at all for both PvP or PvE, so I'd pass on it. The Curtain Call, full auto, rifled barrel, flared magwell, close interpersonal, battle runner, CQB, linear compensator, aggressive ballistics. No. Rifled barrel is really nice, but a four round shotgun with full auto here for PvE, I'd want to at least have 5. At least have 5. 4 is, it's workable for a void damage shotgun if you don't have one for PvE, but I'm not gonna recommend you a subpar weapon. Anton's Rule. We have Hot Swap, Hand Loaded, Outlaw, Army of One, High Caliber Rounds. I'm definitely a fan of Hot Swap on sidearms. Hand Loaded also going to be good for a range increase. Outlaw, really nice for a reload increase. It's a pretty good one overall. High Caliber Rounds is also really good. Unfortunately, getting that does reduce your range, so you won't be firing quite at max damage. I'd truthfully pass until you get like some of the rangefinder on it. Then it would be a little bit better. Hidden Hand, Quick Draw, Snapshot, Army of One, Life Support. I'm a fan of Quick Draw and Snapshot for PvP. We have a Short Gaze. So Short Gaze, Quick Draw, Hidden Hand. This is a decent PvP sniper rifle. However, I'd want something like Spray and Play or Triple Tap and Casket Mag for PvE. So this is not one that I'd recommend for PvP. Interesting for PvP, though, if you are okay managing your special ammo. Chaotic Neutral, Persistence. 30-round magazine and Persistence doesn't make for a good time, in my opinion. Perfect Balance. Armor-piercing rounds. Life Support, Underdog. No. You can do so much better for a machine gun. We have Something Wicked. Tracking, Quick Draw, Field Scout, Grenadier, Last Resort. I'm a fan of Field Scout on rocket launchers in general because ammo stat increases are awesome. Soft launch to increase that velocity, and you still maintain a very high blast radius. So tracking, Last Resort maybe, or Grenadier. I imagine with Grenadier and kill something in PvE, kill a bunch of stuff in PvE, and you get your grenade cooldown back quite quickly. So it's an okay one. However, I'd recommend cluster bombs for PvE rather than tracking, in my opinion. Brief comment. I see a lot of people going, "Hey, this is an okay roll. Why wouldn't you recommend it?" I feel like if I'm going to recommend you guys a weapon to spend your legendary marks on, even though those are very prevalent to get now, it's easy to get legendary marks. I just don't want you buying something that's just okay. I feel like you get enough okay weapons from weapon drops and Nightfall rewards. You don't need me to recommend you to buy an okay weapon from a vendor. Speaking of okay weapons, I'm sure there's some on a rock Jalal here. Actually, the auto rifle here, the Extremophile 01, I like this one a lot. High caliber rounds, perfect balance, and hidden hand. That's going to be very consistent. And you have some okay scopes, MD Reflex, Quick Draw, and OEG rifle. This is a good PvP roll and PvE as well. High caliber rounds is one of the most versatile rolls right now on auto rifles, in my opinion, where you get it, it's going to be good in both PvE and PvP. It makes auto rifles way more viable in PvE, just because you can just funnel damage into something and it's not going to tank all your shots now. Perfect balance will make it easier for shooting. Hidden hand, make it more consistent. That's a good auto rifle. I'll add that to the list. Keystone 01, crowd control, small bore, explosive round, snapshot, unflinching. This is a week where you can pass on the Keystone. Worlds to Come 01, rangefinder, small bore, enhanced battery. I like this. That seems like a very, very good fusion rifle. And we got a red dot ORA2. Yeah. If you're a fusion rifle user, you probably want to pick this one up. I feel like you can get better, but that's just going to be a very marvelously consistent fusion rifle. Last ditch, full auto, perfect balance, hand loaded. See, if you're looking for a void damage shotgun for PvE, this is the one that you would want. It has better stability, basically the same range, full auto, and yeah, better range, better stability, full auto, more in the magazine. That is the void shotgun that you want for PvE. I'd recommend you pick that one up if you need a void one. Bitter Edge, unflinching Hammerforged mulligan. Next, it's horrible. It's a garbage fire. Unto Dust. Does it really matter when it has these base stats on it? No. Flared Magwell, quick draw, heavy payload, spray and play, grenades and horseshoes. Nope. Not very good. Not a very good roll. How about Vanguard? What do you have this week? Yes, the Continental. Counterbalance small bore rodeo appended magazine. The base stability is pretty good, and small bore will help out the stability and the range. I'm not convinced that rodeo does enough to even to spec for it, and danger close is just no. I'm not a fan of that one. So counterbalance is already going to make the weapon consistent. You just pull down on your control stick slightly. Rodeo, we can't come to a consensus on what this does even after 3 years. So pass on Continental. Parthian Shot, it has secret rounds, so no. Third Eye, no major stability boost, no counterbalance, no on Parthian Shot. Angel's Advocate, Outlaw, perfect balance, reactive reload. It's going to be pretty good for a PvP role. I wouldn't, again, this is in that kind of faster rate of fire archetype. I'm not convinced it's going to make a good PvE weapon due to the rate of fire of it. You have to deal a little bit more damage to stuff, even if you are dealing good precision stuff. Plus, the scopes on this are a little bit weird. I'm not a fan of them. Outlaw, perfect balance, reactive reload is good. If you think that might be fun for you, you should pick it up, I guess. But I can't recommend anyone actually go out and buy it just based on those alone. How dare you? Small bore, hidden hand, explosive rounds, mulligan, last resort, next weapon, no thank you. X Astris, hot swap, brace frame, snapshot, unflinching Icarus. Ooh, Icarus on a fusion rifle is always cool. But I'd like a little bit more range on this if possible. Brace frame will make it really stable and consistent, but with this charge rate, God, I just want as much range as possible on it. Okay, Teacup Tempest, hot swap, fitted stock is in the moment. Feeding Frenzy, lightweight. God, all these sidearms start blending together at some point. I like Feeding Frenzy, fitted stock, hot swap. I'm not sure if you actually need a range increase. You probably need hand loaded to make it go to max range, but hot swap, fitted stock, and Feeding Frenzy will be good for the most part. It's got good scopes on it too. We have good sights on it. Occam's Razor, crowd control, reinforced barrel, lightweight, performance bonus, knee pads. God, that is a laughably low range stat, and even with reinforced barrel, that's not that good. That's really not that good. You can get accurized to raise it up some, but God, are you tanking the stability of it? Not that that matters. On a shotgun, this is a high rate of fire one though, so it should come into account a little bit there. It's not that good. It's not in a good archetype for either PvE or PvP unless it has full auto on it. So hidden hand, quick draw, grenadier, mulligan, casket mag. I like grenadier, quick draw, and hidden hand. Those are all good stats to have. And then short gaze is a good scope to have. So I don't know. That's a PvP role if I've ever seen one. Hidden hand and grenadier and quick draw, that's PvP. But due to the ammo economy in PvP right now, can't really recommend this. So sadly, have to pass on it. Plus, there's a lot of good PvP sniper rifles already out there. Bone Crusher. This is probably the most interesting conflicting one. I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you buy this one this week because crowd control, hand-laid stock, rifled barrel, feeding frenzy, spray and play, and then we have linear compensator, field choke, aggressive ballistics, all very good muzzles, and every single perk here is very good for this particular machine gun. Bone Crusher is a very slow rate of fire, very high impact, and crowd control will up that damage in PvP and PvE some. Feeding frenzy will help with the reloads. You will be doing that a lot due to the magazine size of 25 on this. However, I do like hand-laid stock as that does up the stability, which is almost nothing on this particular weapon. You can go with something like linear compensator and field choke, which I recommend that you do to up that stability just a hair more, and that would kind of fix the the hand laid stock range reduction. So overall, or if you really want even more range, because machine guns with more range is laughably absurdly good, you can go with rifled barrel, and then Feeding Frenzy does fix that. This is one where you're gonna have to build it to your personal preference, because there's a lot of little things on here that you can change. Where, oh, I want more stability, so I'm gonna go with this, and then use like linear compensator or field choke to up that range some. Or you can go with Feeding Frenzy, rifled barrel, and then go for a very large range. There's a lot you can do with this one. That's one of the more interesting machine gun rolls that have ever actually been offered. Disassembly required, tracking, quick draw, heavy payload, spray and play, danger close. Ooh, we can get like soft launch and then heavy payload together. I like it. Spray and play. Also like it, tracking. Yeah, that's not a bad rocket launcher for like PvP. I mean, or PvE really. But it seems like all a rocket launcher has to do in PvP or in both to be good is just, can it explode quickly? Can it get to its target quickly and do damage? Cool. The Whale. We have explosive rounds, lightweight, small bore, third eye, luck in the chamber. Nope. The Whale, unfortunately, is one that I can never really recommend because small bore right here, that is as high as the range stat goes. And I'm not going to recommend that you actually use that on a hand cannon because it's just not good enough. It's not good enough compared to basically everything else. The Waltz, Rodeo, Hammer Forge, Feeding Frenzy, High Cal. These are not the perks that we are looking for on the Waltz. The Waiting. We have Eye of the Storm, Hammer Forge, knee pads, accelerated coils. Ooh, accelerated coils. I like Hammer Forge on here, upping that range a little bit more. And Eye of the Storm, I'm not sold on fusion rifles. This one's kind of all over the place. I'm not going to really recommend it. The Wounded. We have crowd control, triple tap, high caliber rounds. Ooh, that is a solid PvE roll, in my opinion. I'd pick that up if you don't have a good scout rifle. If you have a bunch of good scout rifles, you probably got something really similar to this, and I'm not going to recommend that you pick it up. But these scopes are okay. Yeah, if you don't have a good scout, pick it up. You probably have a good scout, so you're not going to pick it up. The Wormwood. We have Hidden Hand, Fitted Stock, Relentless Tracker, High Caliber Rounds. I like High Caliber Rounds, Fitted Stock, and Hidden Hand. However, there is no range increase on here, so pass. Final weapon, the Warpath. Grenades and horseshoes, heavy payload. Oh, yeah, you probably want to go with hard launch to, up that velocity, and then you can use heavy payload to fix it. And flared magwell is that's an okay just rocket launcher, but I don't recommend okay weapons. All right, for weapons that you absolutely must pick up, because I like doing this section at the end now, thanks to the people that suggested it. We have the Bone Crusher. You want to pick this one up. It's good. It's just good from the Vanguard vendor. The other one you want to pick up is actually just a small little jaunt over here to the Dead Orbit vendor, and you want to pick up the Extremophile and run high caliber rounds, perfect balance, and Hidden Hand on it. The other thing you want to pick up if you don't have it, I'm only saying that because it's actually a pretty good roll, the full auto perfect balance hand-loaded shotgun here for PvE only. And that about does it for the rolls this week. There's a couple other ones that I said are okay, might be interesting, specifically the auto rifle on New Monarchy. If that interests you, you can pick it up. It's still not something that I'd use myself, but it's okay. It's an okay roll that I would recommend you. Not an okay roll that I would pass on. Thanks for watching, everyone, this week. I'm going to go pack my stuff because tomorrow I'm going to LA for Destiny 2. Figure out what the hell happens to this thing. All right. See you guys later.